I feel like in the long term, people will be happy without VAR.
Audio Jungle.
Michael Oliver again has had this to say about VAR. I know VAR has become an obsession, but I am for it. I said that very weird. As soon as you moved away from it, but people want it back. So would you agree with that quote?
I feel like in the long term, people will be happy without VAR. But
I do think people...
in the short term, you obviously, when a decision goes against you, it shouldn't have. You obviously I wish we had VAR there. But in the long term, I just want to celebrate a goal again. Because the amount of times I like half-heartedly celebrate a goal because, what if he's a foot offside? Or like just his toe is offside or something like that. It's just...
When they get it right...
Once you've waited for the VAR check, that moment, that buzz of the goal is gone.
When they get it right, I think people will start to accept it a lot more. It needs to be a bit more like rugby, because rugby, no one really celebrates to the try until it comes up on the scoreboard, and then everyone like bounces around. Once they get it right, people start to actually like it a lot more. But I do think people will miss it if they take it away, because there are the penalties that are given that should be penalties.
Football survived for so long, and in most people's opinion was better without it.
Yeah, because it's a new thing. Everyone hates change, but when they get it right, it'll be okay.
But I think we're forgetting, before we had VAR, the amount of people that would go off at the referee for getting a decision wrong and be saying if we didn't have VAR then, we would have won the game or something. And I think we're forgetting that. But as much as referees did make mistakes, it doesn't. It's not to the same effect as VAR. It stops for 5 minutes just to see if you scored a goal or not, and if your finger's offside, then it shouldn't be given a goal. And yeah, it
shouldn't be a 5 minute check.
It's just hard to see it becoming effective anytime soon.
It should be more streamlined, and when the decisions start to come through correct more often, then it will be fine. But it will get streamlined if we keep it in place.
So how long do you reckon we're looking at it becoming, like you said, Joe, how long do you reckon we'll be looking at how good it's going to become, or the peak that it's going to become at its best?
I don't know. Right now it's pretty awful, but I do think it's something that we need in football, because refs do make mistakes and people are always going to abuse the ref about it.
I personally think before rules change to accommodate VAR, it's going to be a controversial topic for a while. Because even when a player is 2 millimeters offside, why was the offside rule brought in the first place? It's to stop the attacker gaining an advantage over a defender by standing closer to the goal, forcing the defender to play deeper. But being a millimeter offside is not. It's just not what needs.
Not an advantage.
It's not an advantage. Whereas you could create a system where if it's not clearly offside, or if it's not offside without the use of lines, if you have to use lines to check if it's offside, that's clearly not an advantage for the attacker.
If it's not clear and obvious offsides should be given, but apart from that, if it's an arm, that's not an advantage. If it's his head as he's leaning forward, that's really not an advantage. He's just turned faster than the defender. I think
it's Patrick Bamford that had a goal disallowed this season for pointing to where he wanted the ball to go.
We've been over that. It's because apparently anything that you can score with that goes past that line.
Yeah, I know. It's just poor.
And it was just above
your
the
shoulder being
t-shirt
offside is not an advantage.
It was the same. It was the same in the Brentford Spurs match, wasn't it, Alex, with Ivan Toney, where that should have probably been given a goal.
I was fuming, because even if he was slightly offside, again, it wasn't a massive offside. And it's definitely not an advantage, because he scored a header and he was on the floor when the ball was touched or when the ball was kicked. It's just made it even more infuriating, even though that technically shouldn't affect things.
Any more VAR? Does anybody want to get any more out of the system? Any more anger?
I think it's all been said 100 times over.
Controversy.